See, now I'm gonna let these people in. Oh, here she is.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Oh, where'd he go? Here he is.
Where'd Tim go? Up there's
There.
Tim. Okay. So we have enough to start.
You do.
Okay.
Wait a minute. On here. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where is she? Okay.
You ready?
Mhm.
Okay, Ted, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. The council caucus meeting of the Borough Council of the Borough of Palmyra is hereby called to order at 6:31. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a nice holiday. Rita, may we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Rahman? Dr. Cloud?
Here.
Mrs. Jenkins? Mrs. McCann?
Here.
Mrs. Russell?
Here.
President Howard?
Present.
Mayor T?
Here. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, etc., and in consideration of the Executive Order Number 103, issued by Governor Murphy on March 9th, 2020, declaring a state of emergency and a public health emergency in the state of New Jersey. Please be advised that the Borough of Palmyra does hereby notify the public that to protect the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens and to reduce the potential spread of COVID-19 and its variants, which ensuring the continued functioning of government, the meeting of mayor and council will be virtual council meeting. Members of the public are invited to attend the virtual council meeting virtually via computer or phone. But all members of the public participating in the meeting virtually may be muted and the video image disabled. Notice of this meeting was published in Burlington County Times on January 12th, 2021. Notice was posted on the municipal door bulletin board at Times on November 18th, 2021. Notice was also posted on the Borough of Palmyra website on December 2nd, 2021. A notice was given to all council members. So the first thing we need to do is everybody get a chance to read the minutes of November 15th, the regular council meeting. And can I do these together?
And we're gonna have to do them separate because everybody wasn't at both.
Okay. The November 15th, 2021 regular council meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Dr. Cloud,
Abstain.
Mrs. McCann,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
President Howard.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the November 15th, 2021, the executive session meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Dr. Cloud,
Abstain.
Mrs. Jenkins,
Hi, I'm so sorry. I just logged in. Is this for attendance?
No,
is
this is for the approval of minutes for November 15th, 2021.
the executive session.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Mrs. McCann,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
President Howard.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Correspondence. Rita, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, I do have a couple things. The first is a thank you card. Dear Mayor, Council and staff, thank you very much for the flowers and the plant. As of today, it's still green. Your kindness made my heart smile during this hard time. Wish you all, Marie. The second piece is, Dear Mayor Tate, thank you for your application requesting funds for your municipality under the New Jersey Department of Transportation's fiscal year 2021 municipal aid program. Unfortunately, the New Jersey Department of Transportation is unable to provide a municipal aid grant for the 4th Street reconstruction project. The municipal aid program continues to be a very popular and competitive program. New Jersey Department of Transportation encourages you to apply for upcoming fiscal year 2023 municipal aid program. And please contact our local district office for assistance with developing an application. And that is Lane Rankin, Division of Local Aid and Economic Development. And last thing is, I have resignations letters from Casey Malnick, and they read as follows. Dear Chief Campbell, please accept this letter as my notice of resignation from my position as police officer with the Palmyra Police Department. My last day of employment with the department will be 12/5/2021. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with your police department. I have thoroughly enjoyed the time I've had working here and appreciate all the opportunities you have given me. I have formed a great bond with everyone here and will trust and miss you all. Thank you again for the opportunity and wish you and the Palmyra Police Department all the best in the future. That was dated November 25th, 2021. And then I have a second letter from him dated November 28th, 2021. And it says, Dear Chief Campbell, after further consideration, I have changed my resignation date to 12/3/2021. This decision was based on already being scheduled off from 12/3/2021 to 12/5/2021. So I've decided to book a vacation to this upcoming week to relax prior to working for Delanco. I asked Sergeant Kovalevsky of the same, and he instructed me to turn over all Palmyra equipment and shifts at the end of the shift at 12/2/2021. I sincerely want to thank the Borough of Palmyra for this opportunity and will continue to use the knowledge I have gained while working here to further my career. Thanks, Melissa Casey.
All right, I believe we need to accept that resignation. May I have a motion to accept the resignation?
So moved to accept that. Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, redevelopment. John, the Route 73 South redevelopment area update. John and Jim.
Thank you, Your Honor. Quite a bit going on. I think the big ticket item, as everyone is aware, which is scheduled for detailed discussion later this evening in closed session, is our pending settlement with Fair Share Housing Center. Another extension was offered until January 7th, which is immediately after our reorganization meeting tentatively scheduled for January 3rd. We have essentially until that point to satisfy Fair Share Housing Center's concerns, or we face litigation. For a long time now, the borough has maintained the same policy in how we intend to move forward with that. It took the redeveloper, however, a period of time to, I guess, fully accept the fact that the borough, had strong opinions in that regard, and that the affordable housing should be constructed under our terms. So that's for lengthy discussion, perhaps not lengthy, but a detailed discussion anyway in closed session. And you have quite a bit of information, both in your packet, agenda packet, but also I forwarded today as well. And we'll get through all of that later. Construction is ongoing. What I would like to do, Jim is going to join us from here on out, just to kind of give us an update on the construction. And then I have one more thing for this project before we go on. So I would turn it over to Jim at this point, and then Andy subsequent to Jim, please.
Hi, everybody. Hi, good to see you. Yeah, so the developer right now is primarily working on the NAI property, which is warehouse number 2 and the residential component. To date, they have been mostly doing geotechnical work, where they're prepping the grounds for all the surface construction. And they finished that portion of the work in the footprint of warehouse 2, and have actually started already and gotten a good deal along with the footings and foundation of warehouse number 2. You should start seeing some vertical wall construction, if not by the end of this month, definitely in January, February, weather permitting. You'll see the warehouse number 2 walls go up. Site work has been limited because of the nature of the geotechnical work going on. And over the last month, we've been working with the developer on their means and methodology on dealing with the landfill and the municipal waste that's located within there. We're in a good place right now. We have a detailed scope of work from their LSRP on how they're going to be able to move forward with the site work. So I believe once the walls go up, they'll have a lot more room to start working around the site. And that will proceed with the utilities, the water, the sanitary, and the storm sewer. We are waiting for an updated permit from the Department of Public Environmental Protection for them to complete the storm work for the NAI site in an ideal location for the stormwater outfall. Overall, I'd say in a global type of thing, you should start seeing the vertical building going up this winter, and then the roofing and steel work and utility work this spring. Their deadline to have the warehouse number 2 was in the end of June. It was pushed back until September. But speaking actually with the main superintendent today, they're trying to pick up back on the schedule and move it back to June. So they're definitely working out there, and let's move forward.
Thank you. Andy, do you have anything to add on to that?
Not for Route 7. Actually, I don't think for either, Your Honor. John put it succinctly that there's lots to talk about in the executive session later on about the fair share issues, and that's really what's going on now on Route 73. To the extent that that needs to be discussed, it's in closed session.
All right, thank you. I have to say, President Howard and I went over after we came home from the League of Municipalities, and it was quite a sight to see. As high as they had it, that we had to climb up to. I wanted to see if there was a ditch or if it was straight across, and it was all level, that high. I was very, very amazed. So they're very gracious to sit back and say, go explore if you'd like. So Tim and I did that. So we have the outlaw training.
Your Honor, before we go into that, I have one more item I'd like to discuss. And speaking of the New Jersey League of Municipalities Convention, on December 2nd, we received a legislative alert from NJLM, which represents probably every municipality in New Jersey is a member of that organization. And to explain the conflicting political message that I guess they often find themselves in, I wanted to read to you from this legislative alert. It's titled, Your Action Needed. And again, this is addressed to municipalities. Your Action Needed, Pilot Prevailing Wage Bill Moving Again. And it goes on to say, earlier this year, legislation was moving quickly that would make any public work done on a property or premises for which a public body provides, approves, or authorizes a tax abatement or tax exemption for the property or premises subject to the Prevailing Wage Act. So in other words, what they're describing is our redevelopment project. And the legislation suggests, or provides rather, that that any work done on that should have prevailing wages should be paid, right? Except, now that's a reasonable conclusion or consideration in some municipalities, except New Jersey League of Municipality, on behalf of all municipalities, goes on to say, we urge you to not only reach out to your senator and assembly representatives expressing strong opposition to the legislation, but also we request that you consider signing on to the coalition letter opposing this bill, which of course would benefit, pay higher wages to workers employed on these projects like our redevelopment area. And then there's 4 or 5 bullet points why it is such a bad idea. Now, that's absurd in this day and age, I think, especially in the state of New Jersey, but this is an organization that we belong to. So this is, just another thing that municipalities have to face, an organization that we pay to support our opinions and develop legislation that we think benefits our residents. This is the position they took on prevailing wage on projects involving pilots, payment in lieu of taxes. I just thought that was interesting, especially since we were just there. Moving on, Your Honor, Tracy Kilmer and I, construction official, have a meeting tomorrow with Jeffrey Wade, owner and redeveloper for the PNC Bank project. So I'll know after tomorrow, can fill you in, and I don't have anything at all to report on C-Box ELM Office LLC at the former Knights of Columbus property.
Okay, thank you. Andy, do you have anything on Outlaw?
No, Your Honor, still no notification from the court about when the trial will happen. Nothing yet.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, if I may, 2
Sure.
small points. The first one, looking at John's picture, it looks like there's some divine intervention with that light shining. So I don't know if he speaks with the authority of the Almighty, but that light is very noticeable. With respect to Andrew, can he be excused until the executive session portion of our meeting? I have his cell phone number. I will not publish it, but with your permission, I will call him at the appropriate time, and this way he can eat some dinner.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Andy. We'll give you a call.
Thank you. I'm available now for comments, but if not, then I'll be available. I have my phone on all the time. Thank you very much.
Okay, Bill Kushner.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank everyone for another productive year. Have a couple things on the agenda tonight I just wanted to update you on, so hopefully your consent agenda will roll smoothly. First is resolution 221-226. It's awarding a contract to my office for the on-call contracting services proposal that we do annually for the borough. Basically, it gives them access to a heavy construction contractor for things that may come up on an emergent basis throughout the year without needing to do emergency bids. The cost there is $6,000. Next is resolution 221-227. It's awarding change order 1 to Pioneer General Contracting for the 2021 road improvement project, which increases the amount of the project by $30,340 from the original base price of $386,565 to a new price of $416,905. In keeping with essentially the projects that are done in the borough, we are conservative when we go out to bid to get the minimum we need to get done. But if the bids come in as this did, tens of thousands of dollars below the budget, we do a little extra curb and sidewalk work on projects to make sure that things that are questionable are cleaned up, and that's what we did in this case. Additionally, about a quarter of that price is for inlet and manhole repairs that were outside of the original scope of work, actually not even on the same roads. But the contractor bid a decent price, and we wanted to get these done before they caved in and caused the safety issue. Next item, 221-238 is a resolution awarding change order 1 to Municipal Maintenance Company. And this goes way back to the 2020 SOAR capital improvements. We've been actually working on this for a year and a half now. When we went to do the work, replacing some of the valves inside one of the package aeration plants at the SOAR plant, we found that a couple of the supports were completely rotted away. So the net result, including a negotiated credit we got for some bypass work that we did that benefited the contractor, resulted in an $837.25 change, increasing the total price from $153,410 to $154,347.25. Again, it's fairly minor in nature, as is the next item, resolution 221-239. It's change order 1 for Command Company. They are the contractor working on Veterans Memorial Park, which essentially is complete except for a few minor punch list items. The change order is a net increase of $660, changing the contract price from $121,857 to $122,517. The increase essentially is for some extra sidewalk in the area of the flagpoles, just to make it a little more stable for when the flags are hoisted and taken down. So basically just make it safer to do that. And it was requested by the War Memorial Committee. And lastly, we have resolution 221-240, resolution awarding change order 2 to Pioneer General Contracting for the 2021 road improvement project. And this decreases the previously increased price by $395.74 to a new price of $416,509.26. And essentially what we did there was, when we went and did the paving, based on the conditions we found when we did the curb and sidewalk work and took a good look at the street, instead of doing a straight up 2-inch mill and overlay, we did some additional base repair and leveling. So we ended up with a nice smooth street, and hopefully everyone is as pleased as I am with the way New Jersey Avenue came out. So those were the items off the agenda. A couple other updates. Temple Boulevard TAP grant is currently advertising out the bid for bids to be received in January, as is the 3 annual projects. One, even though you haven't authorized me to do the work, I did to make sure you were in place for the 2022 on-call contracting contract. Also, we have the annual sewer plant mechanical maintenance contract and jetting and backdring services. Those are all out to bid, take bids on December 17th, hopefully to have them in place for award at the reorganization meeting. So I don't know if anyone has any other questions, but I'd be happy to answer them.
Does anybody have any questions, Bill? That's a lot. Thank you for all the work that you do, Bill.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, do we have the Board of Education liaison?
I do not see her nor the students.
Well, the students usually show up on the second meeting of the month. Okay, then I guess we go on to the public comment. We request those participants wishing to have or make a public comment, email their questions or comments in advance to Municipal Clerk Rita Jackson at djackson@boroughpalmyra.com. The opportunity to submit comment prior to the meeting expires at 2 p.m. on December 6, 2021. Comments submitted in a timely and complete manner will be reviewed and read during the virtual council meeting. All comments will become part of the record and included with the meeting minutes. For those who attend the virtual meeting, I will open up the meeting to the public for comments. Comments should be limited to no more than 2 minutes. All comments will become part of the record and included with the meeting minutes. May I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Rita, did we get any comments?
No, I did not receive any comments prior to the meeting.
Okay, thank you. We are open to the public. Does anybody wish to say anything? Have any comments?
Yes, my name is Valerie Still. I bought my house on Veterans Drive in the west end of Palmar for my parents in 1991. I've been at these meetings quite a bit since July. I'm hoping to get some type of response from this governing body tonight. Hopefully, it's amazing that the Board of Education meetings are open to the public, and there's also public events such as the market the other night with people meeting, but the council meetings are still closed to the public. I don't get that. I know that you posted a warning on the website, your website, but it seems like the data that's collected from the Burlington County website is a little different. It seems like they've said that it's only been a handful of confirmed cases in Palmar lately. I'm not sure, but I'm still not confused about why these meetings are still just held virtually when the Board of Education meetings are open to the public. But besides that, I've been to these meetings, like I said, since July, and I'm shocked that no one wants to respond to these serious allegations of systemic racism in Palmar School District that's been backed up by concrete evidence. And I know you guys probably really don't care. I see the responses, I see the body language and all that, but I'm going to continue on bringing this out because it is serious. And the hate speech email that's circulating in Palmar from Black Owl, not one word from this governing body either to challenge those allegations of systemic racism, which you can do easily, or to condemn this racist email circulating in our town, or to even comment on the concerns of nepotism in this governing body. I know many of you, probably as many Americans across the USA, have followed the Ahmaud Arbery case in Georgia. And unfortunately, in that town, it was the silence and nepotism of public officials like the former DA, which led to individuals thinking it was okay to hunt down a young Black man jogging in broad daylight through their neighborhood with pickup trucks and shoot him dead in the middle of the street and have it videotaped. It took his mom 74 days before it's something, they even arrested the individuals who had done that. It was a modern day lynching. Not only was justice though dished out to those who committed those atrocities, but now the corrupt system of nepotism is being exposed. They all knew each other and weren't holding each other accountable, but the brave jury of 12, not Democrats or Republicans, liberals or conservatives, but just proud Americans spoke loud and clear to condemn hatred. Another example I know we're all following is going on in Congress right now with the calling out of Representative Lauren Bartlett, who made a hate attack on Representative Ilhan Omar. Representative Omar has loudly denounced anti-Muslim attacks. She stated, "We cannot pretend that this hate speech from leading politicians doesn't have real consequences." Other public elected officials are voicing their condemnation on this hate speech. Representative Carson, he publicly stated, this is just an example of what public officials are supposed to do. This is the people's house, he says. It's a place where all types of people should be accepted and ideals heard. This cannot be a place where members endure hateful prejudice attacks from their co-workers because of their faith. Then he says, this is not about hurt feelings or mean-spirited words. This is about calling out individuals who deliberately incite violence and irresponsibly spread lies and misinformation, which clearly, side note, Black Owl has done this with the email that he sent out. If it's he or if his race is even in question. This is about, the Representative Carson goes on to say, this is about words have consequences and can incite violence. Hate speech emboldens many to engage in acts of violence that hurt our communities. We cannot let this happen. We need accountability so that everyone knows that this violent speech is not okay and hatred will not be tolerated or celebrated. He goes on to say, we are committed to. No, I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet. So you're going to come in. You haven't said anything. So this happens every time, Gina Tate. This is happening on your watch, and something this serious. You don't speak up, but you can speak up to mute me, my opinions. And there's no one else in this public session. So why is it that you don't want to hear this out?
Valerie, there's a lot, if you want to come in and sit down with me, I have no problem with doing
I
that.
want it on a public record. I
But
want this on a
Valerie,
public
your
record.
2 minutes are up.
Wow, that says a lot. You know, and this is what happened in Georgia.
Well, we're
Public
not in
officials
Georgia.
just like this that allow these kind of systemic racism. And Dr. Cloud, I hope you're listening, because I know you left early. I hope you're the reason, you're the sound reason that can understand that if this happened to your family, if somebody.
Thank you, Valerie.
If I may, Gina, I just wanted to let Ms. Still know that I departed the last meeting early before her comments. I did get those comments, and I invite her to please email me so that I can learn a little bit more about what's going on, so that if there's something that I can assist with, I can do that.
All right, thank you, Laura. All right, anyone else have a comment? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public comments?
I just want to, before I close it, I don't know anything about this black owl, and I've tried to research it, so I do not know what Ms. Still is referring to there. Second, in terms of the comments regarding the Board of Ed, I hope that her enthusiasm that she's bringing to our meetings is also going to the Board of Ed meetings as well, because while we collect the taxes, and while, trust me, you can ask, I sound off about this consistently, we're not the ones, I am not the one, and our council are not the ones that are doing the hiring and any control whatsoever in terms of the Board of Ed. So
Your
that's all
husband is on the Board of Education.
that is a true statement, but we do keep a divided line to an extent. And he hears me in terms of the diversity within our district. Even the district that I work in, which on paper does not reflect the demographics in the classroom, does not have a diverse teacher population.
And for the record,
Okay.
I just want to say that you all just muted me again, just for the record. I had not
Okay, thank you.
muted.
Can we close to the public? Have a motion to close to the public.
So moved to close to the public, please.
Second.
Second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolutions, Resolution 2021-226 through Resolution 2021-242 will be enacted as a single motion. If any resolution needs additional discussion, it will be removed from the consent agenda and voted on separately. Do we have any conflicts that we need to pull any resolutions? Seeing none, I will continue. Resolution 2021-226 is a resolution awarding a contract to Environmental Resolutions, Inc., ERI, for on-call contracting services per the proposal dated November 11th, 2021, in the amount of $6,000. Resolution 2021-227 is a resolution of the Borough of Palmyra awarding change order number 1 to Pioneer General Contracting Company, Inc. for the 2021 road improvement project with the increased amount of $30,340 from the original base price of $386,565, making the new adjusted contract price $416,905 per Environmental Resolution, Inc. Requested date November 1st, 2021. Resolution 2021-226 is a resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to make budget transfers to the 2021 budget in the amount of $10,300. Resolution 2021-229 is a resolution of the Borough of Palmyra to renew membership in the Southern New Jersey Regional Employee Benefit Fund. Resolution 2021-230 is a resolution authorizing a sewer bill installment plan for sewer accounts number 30000000-0. Resolution 221-231 is a resolution authorizing the financial officer to pay the vendor's bills during the month of December 2021. Resolution 2021-232 is a resolution appointing Tracy Kilmer as construction codes, inspections, and housing office supervisors at the annual salary of $5,000. Resolution 221-233 is a resolution appointing Rebecca Flynn as a technical assistant to the construction officer / taco at the hourly rate of $15.50 per the terms of and conditions in her offer of employment dated November 30th, 2021.
Your Honor, if I may, and I apologizing for interrupting you, but Miss Flynn is on the phone call.
Yes, I do. I was just going to say that.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Go right in. I'll shut up.
That's okay. Are you around, Miss Flynn? There you go. Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Where was I? Okay, resolution 2020-231, resolution approving the amended police CBA and salary guide for employees hired after January 1st, 2011. Resolution 2021-235 is a resolution urging the New Jersey legislature to create legislation that would establish emergency medical services as essential government services. Resolution 2021-231 is a resolution appointing Paul Gressel to the Palmyra Police Department as a patrolman effective December 13th, 2021, with an annual salary of $42,085.14. I believe I saw Paul.
Yeah, I did see. Yeah, there he goes.
Paul, congratulations. We're glad to have you aboard. Thank you for joining us tonight. And resolution 2021-231 is a resolution appointing John Bagnaria to the Palmyra Police Department as a patrolman effective December 13th, 2021, with an annual salary of $38,349.56. Is Paul on the, is John on the?
Yes, he is.
And where is he? Hi, John. I see you. Congratulations and welcome aboard. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Resolution awarding change order number 1 to Municipal Maintenance Company for the 2020 sewer capital improvement with the increase amount of $837.25 from the original price of $150,000, $153,410. Making the new adjusted contract prices $154,347.25 per EOI requested date December 1st, 2021. Resolution 2021-239 is a resolution awarding change order number 1 to the Command Company, Inc. for the Veterans Memorial, Inc. project with the net increase amount of $660 from the original contract price of $121,857, making the new adjusted contract price as $122,517 per Environmental Resolutions, Inc. Requested date December 1st, 2021. Resolution 2021-240 is a resolution awarding a change order number 2 to Pioneer General Contracting Company from the 2021 road improvement project with the decrease amount of $395.74 from the previous adjusted contract price of $416,905, making the new adjusted contract price as $416,509.26 per Environmental Resolutions, Inc. requested dated December 1st, 2021. Resolution 2021-241 is a resolution of the Borough of Palmyra, County of Burlington, authorizing a lien be placed on Block 116, Lot 9, for failure to comply with obnoxious gross and property maintenance violations. Resolution 2021-242 is a resolution of the Borough of Palmyra, County of Burlington, authorizing a lien be placed on Block 126, Lot 12, for failure to comply with obnoxious growth and property maintenance violations. With those, may I have a motion to approve the consent agreement?
So move to approve the consent agreement.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Dr. Cloud,
Yes.
Mrs. Jenkins,
Yes.
Mrs. McCann,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
President Howard.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you. Public events. We had Santa Claus come through town on Friday night. I want to thank Les Jameson, our local Santa, for going through town like he always does for us, and it was very well received. I know around my area, all the little kids were outside waving and all that good stuff. I also wanted to thank the fire department, our volunteer fire department, for pulling Santa in his sled this year. We thank you for your time. We have a selfie station that is put up at the community center. You could go out there and take Christmas selfies anytime you want. It's on the outside. Go up and bring who you need. It's really cute. And thank you for Michelle Sykes-Wright for doing that. Our holiday house decorating contest. Please see our website in reference to sign your house up if you are decorating. Usually it's a big event during the year. We thank you. Also, we have a winter coat drive going on this Saturday through Troy Singleton in Burlington County, but you must sign up. You must sign up to be able to get into the gym. Now we have on our website, there's a QR code that you can get right into the sign up, or it will be on our door, the municipal building door, and it will be on the community center door that you could go up and get the QR code to sign up, because I know we were, that day, there's 500 coats going out the door.
So Gina, you're saying Palmyra is doing that, and
No, Palmyra's not doing that. Troy Singleton's doing that
No.
using our Palmyra Community Center.
That's what I meant. Sorry. So I've assisted in the years, so I guess to reach out to Troy regarding that then.
In reference
You know?
to, maybe I can answer the question.
In past years, I've assisted with this. I
If
haven't
you'd like
seen-
to
So that's
go,
why I was
I
asking.
mean, we have spoken back and forth in reference to volunteers.
Okay, I'll reach out. Thank you.
And that's it for now. Discussion items, reorg. Reorg will be on January 3rd, Monday at 6:30 as of right now. And
In
we will have
person? Or virtual.
as of
Or-
right now would
Or
be
hybrid or virtual. But I know after the holiday season, as many kids as I've had pop into my group are positive, so I'm not sure about anybody else's statistics, but I have kids dropping like flies due to the exposures received over Thanksgiving. So if we're doing anything at a minimum, I would like to see us hybrid.
All right, any other opinion on? You're still muted, Farah.
I agree with Bernadette. Me personally, I just came off of a quarantine. My entire school just came off a quarantine. it is still really rough out here, and with it being flu season and winter time, I like the idea of having the option hybrid.
Okay, Michelle McCann and Mr. President Howard, how do you feel? It's you're swearing in.
Hybrid's fine for me.
Me too.
What?
Whatever's best for council.
All right,
I
so
think I sit next to Bernadette while I'm on the day, so I definitely want to be hybrid.
No, you do not. So stop. See, it's been so long, your old mind doesn't remember.
I know.
okay, so it will be virtual again. Because when we did the hybrid, it was only John and I up there.
And me.
And Michelle.
Sorry,
yes,
Michelle.
McCann.
I would attend in person if we have a hybrid meeting.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, we'll do John and Rita, would it be able to do a hybrid meeting on the 3rd?
We'll just have to remember that technology, Your Honor, but sure, we'll figure that out again. It's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, we can figure that out. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank
And then,
you.
Gina, to follow up, I didn't know if you were following up with the time yet, or was that a TBD?
That was something in between us right now. Borough Hall staffing reopening to the public, Legion Field, Community Center Council meetings. Well, we just sort of went over that. COVID-19 update. I know we had 10 cases in the past 6 days.
And we had 19 in the last week, Your Honor. That is the most significant week as far as number of infections since the pandemic began. I believe that's the case. We're averaging about 10 per week now. And as Tangi and Linda pointed out to me, is after I posted this information today, which by the way comes directly from the Burlington County Health Department, which they obtained from the state of New Jersey Health Department and CDC. After I posted that, Tangi and Linda pointed out to me that, it's about 10 days past Thanksgiving, right? So it makes sense that we had a significant uptick in infections in our community right now. And what's interesting about that, on January 3rd, that's about 10 days. That is 10 days after Christmas. So, I really hadn't thought about that before this moment, but it probably makes a whole lot of sense that we're going to see during that week a significant increase in COVID infections in our community. And most stunning about this, we have a very high, and I won't get into the statistics, very high vaccination rate in our community, yet we're still seeing these infections. But it's also important that I point out, borough employees, we've had 2 in the last month who tested positive. So this is not isolated to outside of our building, right? Both of those individuals happen to be non-vaccinated employees, and we have a handful of them, but still 2 employees tested positive over the last 3.5 or 4 weeks, whatever it is. And, plus the significant number that, we posted on our website today as reported by the Burlington County Health Department, State Health Department. So I don't know what else to say about it other than that. But
okay,
somebody just said it's still bad out there. I think Farrah did, and it's true.
Yeah. Mandatory COVID vaccine testing for borough staff.
We worked through some of our, issues as far as that's concerned. That's proceeding the unvaccinated staff. And again, there's only a few. They've been very cooperative and are getting tested on a weekly basis. And we have we reached agreement with the school while they're in session anyway. They are testing free at no charge on Monday afternoons. So that's working out very well heretofore.
Thank you. The crossing guard hiring policy.
We did agree at our last meeting, Your Honor, that we were going to increase the shift rate for crossing guards to $20 in order to attract more applicants, and also pay a sign-on bonus of $200, which equates to the full-time salary, 10 shifts for a crossing guard at 20 bucks per. So, however, unlike the police department, where we have a contract where those details are spelled out, because we have signing bonuses for police officers too. And the two gentlemen that you just appointed are eligible for those sign-on bonuses. We have to create a policy for the crossing guards to make that effective. So, so for this and the very next item down, we're also going to create a training and education policy that requires those attending classes agree to stay with the borough for X period of time. Otherwise, the training class will have to be paid back, and we're still working out those details. But so for both of these topics, our labor attorney is or will be working on policies in that regard.
Thank you.
Gina, I'm sorry. I just wanted to comment on that to John.
Okay, go ahead.
John, I was thinking about the issue we're having with the crossing guards. And I thought it would be a good idea to work with the high school to see if we have some students that, you know, maybe 12th graders whose schedule would permit them to be crossing guards during that time. I know when I was in high school, I didn't even have classes in the morning because, you know, I was just the type of student I was. And I'm sure we have some students over there that would be able to benefit from a small part-time job like that.
You know, I will have to look into that and have a conversation with the chief. The chief has been in communication with the superintendent in the past about potentially hiring other school employees. I believe the superintendent had indicated at that time when the chief had a conversation with him that he wasn't too excited about other employees taking on that role as crossing guards as well. But the chief is on. We'll have a conversation over the next day or so and see if we can reach out again and see how that may work with students. I appreciate that.
I mean, because that would be an opportunity. I don't know what you feel about that, Chief, but I just feel like, you know, my daughter is in the 11th grade and I'm dropping her off at Burlington. You know what I mean? It would be most convenient if she can get her little part-time job, you know, local, if that opportunity would arise.
I think one thing that you might have to worry about is the age.
There's other restrictions too. Chief can explain that real quick. The other restrictions where we're talking about other people or those with certain kind of trainings and other kind of restrictions. Is Chief on?
There would be, I'm here. There would be a training aspect, obviously associated with that. Believe it or not, Omar actually brought this this idea to my attention probably about a month or so ago. However, looking at the student population that he has on the work program with the school, there are not many students that fit the 18-year-old and older category. There's only maybe a handful of them. And then again, the timing of the crossing posts, you know, obviously they would be working a half a day, so they'd only be available for the afternoon shifts as opposed to both. And so it has come up in conversation. I met with the superintendent today on another matter, and we briefly talked about it then too, but Omar had reminded us that there really wasn't a good amount of students in that program that would fit the categories, fit the criteria. So.
Thank you. Okay. Deputy Clerk and Assistant Administrative.
Yes, Your Honor. This is something that I've sent a number of emails to members of the governing body about and had discussions with several of you in this regard. Municipal government is not anymore anything like what it was when I started here in the borough of Palmyra in 1995. The regulations, the oversight, requirements on a daily basis, it is very onerous, and there is quite a bit of responsibility that goes along with that. Most departments, every department, frankly, in the borough has more than one person to help share that load, with two exceptions: my department and Rita's. In Rita's case, we don't have a deputy clerk. We had to deputize two individuals this past election day in November, a month ago. So we had adequate staff to assist Rita during the election process. I used to have an assistant. I don't any longer. We never replaced that person when she left several years ago. But, you know, we have a lot on our plate, and I think it's evidenced by the fact of our comprehensive items that you can see in our agendas from one meeting to the next. Many of which are just on here as ongoing discussion items, things that we hope to get to in the near future rather. And these are things quite often, you know, that are difficult to get to. Everyone is familiar with how long it took us to prepare the time limit parking ordinance for Broad Street. That's complicated, very time consuming, requires a lot of effort. The ordinance is adopted, but we're still now reviewing the signage requirements, et cetera, that we're going to need. And by the way, our police officers that we hired for that program, you know, we'll probably be using in another capacity in the not too distant future. So these things are very complicated. What I wanted to say about time limit parking is it is only one of 6 or 7 additional ordinances just related to parking that we have to look at in order to have a comprehensive plan for the entire community. There is just so much that has to be done. And it seems like quite often we have to wait to get these things done just because there's not enough hours in the day. You put on top of that a $500 million redevelopment project, which consumes 50% of my time, sometimes more. I need help. Rita needs help. You know, it's that simple, and I need to be that blunt about it. In order to provide the services that we need to provide and do them and provide that, you know, in the quality way that we want to do it, we need assistance. There's just, again, there's not enough hours in the day to get to everything that we hope to get to. And, you know, that doesn't even, in addition to that, I guess, the other side of that coin is pending retirements. I'm not going to get into any specifics on this call except my own. I was eligible to retire 2 years ago, right? Next month, 2 years ago. You know, I've been with the borough since 1995. I have a lot of institutional knowledge. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to retire in the short term. And I'm not going to say I won't be easy to find after I retire, because there is nobody tomorrow who doesn't feel free knocking on my front door when, you know, they have a question. But my point is, me and several others are eligible to retire. These people are going to have to be replaced. Getting people in place today, there's learning curves associated with all of these positions, right? You know, it's not administrator, and I'm not saying this for any other reason other than it's true. It's a difficult job. You are literally a jack of all trades, right? You have to know something about everything that's going on in the borough at all times. So, you know, if you want to be prepared, you need someone who is learning, helping, you know, accomplishing the things that we need to get done. Same needs to be said about Rita in the clerk's office. Rita needs help. And again, we don't have a deputy clerk. There is no other municipality that doesn't have a deputy clerk, frankly. So, you know, what I am requesting is, and it can be one person. That person needs to be special, though. That person, you know, needs to have experience in government. That person needs to be college educated. Ideally, that person would have an MBA or a master's in public administration. That person needs to understand policy, how to create it, how to enforce it. That person needs to be a human resource officer, sometimes a shoulder to cry on, whatever the case. Need to be able to interact with every department of the borough. 70 some employees, 6 or 7 departments, upwards of $15 million in budgets total when you include capital projects on an annual basis. We need to have people in place, continuity as we move forward. So I know I've taken up some time, but I can't express strongly enough what I think we're going to need if we're going to remain, you know, a top shelf community as we move forward. So I'd like to get those people or that person on board as soon as possible, if at all possible.
Okay, thank you. So what is it that you need from us, John? Do you need to go ahead to write up a job description?
How about if I did that? That's an excellent suggestion. We could start with that. I will prepare that and submit it for your consideration, and we'll go from there. How about that?
Okay, that sounds great.
That'll take
Thank
me,
you.
shouldn't take me long.
Surplus
I'm
vehicles.
sorry, I had a question in regards to
oh,
that,
okay, I'm
Mayor,
sorry.
please, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, John, and this is me hearing everything that you just spewed out at us. Okay, so we just, I mean, I know you can't tell me exactly, but we don't have any people in place already that we could move around or continue to grow, and then maybe find an employee for, you know, for the not lesser, that's not the word, but for the less experience needed positions. And the reason why I ask that is because to jump out and hire somebody that is anywhere close to all of those beautiful things you just sprued out, what's keeping us from being in the position we once was before, where we become the town where we're just training folks?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Completely, and I appreciate that. What we could do is, not unlike you know, what was just included in the latest amended salary police contract, collective bargaining agreement, kind of what I referred to earlier. Whoever we hire, we may require them provide a commitment of X number of years. I hadn't thought about that before this moment, but let's for the sake of this conversation, it could be 5 years minimum. There is some education, probably some training that person will have to experience and attend. So it's warranted requiring them to stay, you know, for an extended period of time. As far as people that we have on staff, many of the experienced people, and I'm not going to say anybody's names, but many of them are on this phone call, right, are in a very similar circumstance to me, right? They are all either at or approaching retirement age. And that's a good thing. We're all going to hang out, by the way, after we retire and talk about everybody else. But, you know, that's a good thing. But, you know, that's where I hate to use the word aging staff is, but that's where we are. We have some of the best employees in their respective positions, and I'm not blowing smoke, in the entire county. And it took a lot of effort and sometimes, you know, and a fair amount of money to get them here. So, you know, so we don't want to lose the person who's doing such a fantastic job in that particular discipline, you know, to fill in over here, especially.
I mean, yeah, I hear you, but we're talking about opportunity. I mean, I hear you, but I also want us to be thinking about, we're talking about opportunities for people to make more money. We're talking about people that's already been loyal to us for, you know, a certain amount of time. And we also, to keep us a growing community, we need to also adopt that mentality where we're building people up and keeping them here. You know what I'm saying? So I just want us to keep that in mind. And we need to adopt that hiring within policy when we're talking about building each other up. You know what I mean? Or building our community up.
So, you know, I think you're welcome. I think that's a perfect segue going back to the job description. If I write that up, you know, it'll give me an opportunity to put in writing. And if you read my emails, I kind of gave you a long-winded outline of what I think that person or persons should be, right? I'll reduce that to a job description. We can weigh that against present staff and kind of go from there. If that's fair. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions for John? Okay, surplus vehicles.
We're going to have a few, Your Honor. The chief, the fire chief, Rick Dreeby, police chief, and Ernie are going to put together a list. They first have to be declared surplus property, and then we can sell them. And speaking of retirees, Scott Perlman is our representative at govdeals.com. So we have that going for us, a friend in the business. So I just wanted you to be aware that we're starting to assemble surplus equipment that we'll be selling.
Okay, thank you. Trash collection.
You know, it's hard to even begin to know where to start here. You know, we've had the number of complaints, and Linda is on here again.
Linda,
You've heard me say
thank you.
these very words. Linda deserves hazard
pay.
hazard pay. As a matter of fact, let's make Linda the administrator starting tomorrow. But you know, it is a very Republic is very challenged and has significant challenges ahead of them. And this is industry-wide. I know it's easy to want to blame Republic and say they're horrible at their job. They're not good at their job, but it's not entirely their fault. COVID-19 has undermined every element of our community as far as trying to find qualified people, you know, to fill these jobs, right? Truck drivers, CDL holders are of particular concern, and that's what you need to have in order to drive a trash truck, a commercial driver's license. We all remember the issues we had back with recycling collection, waste management. The big trash contractors are paying significant $6,000 and $8,000 sign-on bonuses to get a trash truck driver. Who would have thunk, right? Republic doesn't have the people. Donna Kondo, our CFO, and I think I reported this last month, went to a seminar for the continuing education for a CFO certification, at which a gentleman from Republic, Gary Smalley, held a seminar about the challenges in the industry. Republic immediately prior to that seminar, and Donna attended about 2 months ago, Delran, their trash contract expired. They rebid it. Their contractor was Republic. They rebid it. They had one bid. It was Republic. And Republic increased their price 86.2%. Delran can reject that bid if they want. And then when Republic again is the only bidder, it's going to be 10% higher than that because they know they can get away with it. So fast forward, New Jersey League of Municipalities, Council President Howard attended the seminar hosted by Gary Smalley. Republic Services had heard many of the same things that Donna heard and that I just discussed. Coincidentally, actually, there are no such things as coincidences. We made it a point to meet up with Gary Smalley that evening. The three of us and Gary Smalley and other officials who work for Republic. And, you know, they expressed the challenges that they're facing and how this is a completely different ball game than it was in the past. So what we began discussing at the last council meeting was maybe thinking about internalizing, bringing a trash collection in-house. We need experience and you know, which we don't have. Of course, we're going to have to learn how to do that. If we collected trash on our own, we need trash trucks. Lead time for a trash truck is almost 2 years, now. You know, so there are many challenges that we would have to overcome in order to do this. But what we do have is CDL drivers, very experienced CDL drivers. All of our public works and sewer personnel are required to have commercial driver's license. And Mayor, thank you very much for facilitating getting some of those, our newer public works employees, certified by calling in some political favors at motor vehicles. Thank you for that. So the thought process that we really started discussing 2 weeks ago at New Jersey League of Municipalities and through today is maybe we don't try to undertake trash collections throughout the entire community, but we focus on one neighborhood. Maybe we buy one used trash truck from govdeals.com, right? One used trash truck, okay? Focus on one neighborhood. Our current contract expires in March of 2023. So we don't have time to waste, right? It's only a year and 5 months, right? But maybe that's how we learn how to collect trash while saving some money. We could structure a contract in such a way that as we gain experience and are comfortable doing it, we can include another neighborhood into the collection, in-house collection scheme. In other words, it's on the job training. And of course, we'll provide as much training as we possibly could. But that's currently the concept that they're working with. You asked me to go back, put some numbers together, think about it. This is what I think is our best opportunity. We can't get trash trucks in time, but maybe we can get one used one and we can focus on one neighborhood, learn what we're doing, focus on providing excellent customer service in that one neighborhood while a contractor addresses Republic, no doubt, the rest of the community, and then build from there. That's what I think is our best opportunity to save money and gain experience without the public suffering from what would amount to a significant learning curve.
Also, while we were down at the League of Municipalities, I was looking at the trash trucks and how much they were, but President Howard wound up having a long conversation in reference to the electric and the grants and everything for them, so it wouldn't cost us as much. This year was very information-wise. We got a lot of information that would be great for the town. But I agree with you, John. I mean, we sat and went around and around and around with that. And I mean, when speaking with the Republic representative, he had no problem with telling us everything's gonna come up. I mean, just like he just thought we had no choice.
Yeah.
And that's
right. He knows we have no choice. He knows we're going to pay it because trash has to be collected, right?
Yeah.
And he was smirked. He was a little glib in telling us that. Del Rand said, "Oh, you're going to have to come into and explain this to their governing body." His response to us was, "No, I don't. It's public bidding."
And the thing is, he said that too that night.
All right.
He said that.
So what are we looking at?
I have a question, John, when you're done.
I am done.
Oh, okay, thank you. How do you choose which part of the neighborhood will get which service?
I don't know. I have an idea. I do have an idea. I don't want to say it in a public forum. I can email you my thoughts tomorrow. By no sense is anything set in stone. Just trying to think where we might want to start with that, and why. I'll email everybody over the next day or so if that's okay.
Okay.
That's
I was gonna
okay.
say,
Thank
can you please include me in that? Because
I will
I have
send
ideas too. Thank you.
Everybody will get the same Dear John email.
So I had a follow-up question to that. So what happened to those other companies? I don't know if I'll mention any by name, but I'm just curious.
I think they all pretty much were at the end of contracts in different areas, and they realized they were going to bid so high on some of these contracts, and they didn't have the staffing to, finish the contract out. So instead of bidding on a contract and then defaulting on getting the job done, they just didn't bid on these jobs, which only left Republic bidding. Republic was thinking somebody else was going to bid, so they just threw a number out there, not knowing they're going to be the only one bidding, and were awarded the contract. Wow. And then we're asked not the, well, can you lower your price? You come out and talk to us. And pretty much, the whole recycling trash industry, it's just like, truck driving and, moving things across the world now. Republic had 5 job fairs, and they have a total of 10 people in 3 different locations: South Jersey, Central Jersey, and Pennsylvania. About 10 people showed up for that. And they were given $5,000 to $10,000 signing bonuses.
They say usually 150 people show up.
Yeah.
10 showed up.
Yeah. And it's they're trying to get people who have experience, so that way we won't miss a beat like in our town. But just like with our recycling with the county, they got guys out that's hired. They're in training. It's gonna take 3 months to train them. He has trucks. He had about 15 trucks he ordered 5 years ago. He ordered 5 more 2 years ago and hasn't got the other 15 yet. So, you know, he can't send trucks that he don't have, and then he can't send guys in the truck that doesn't drive. But yeah, he had about 400 people that came to his session down in League of Municipalities, and it was packed wall to wall. I think he had 200 seats, and everybody else was against the walls. So we were on top of each other, and I mean, he explained everything that they're going through, what society's going through, what New Jersey's going through. He took pretty much everybody came in angry about what's going on in their town. He took the win out of their sales because he explained what their dilemma is, which was, you know, we know there's nobody to do these jobs. If he has one guy that's to drive to the dump and drop that truck off and drop his dump, and it's mixed with mixed products, they get rejected. That means that truck doesn't get dumped at that site. So that's when, you know, we tell people you can only have this much in the recycle and not trash. Well, when that truck gets to a place and they check that truck and it has 0.05%, I think, contamination, they don't take your truck. That means that driver from Palmyra has to go to another dump to empty his truck that they had to pay for and then drive back to Palmyra if it's within their time frame. That's part of their ongoing problem and cycle. And the electric truck is also—
We learned a lot.
Yeah.
We learned a lot from this year. Believe me, more than we want to know.
Gotcha. Thank you, though. Thank you for that info, because I know it has been a challenge in our town and across the county and across the state. So I just was kind of curious based on, you know, what we had used in the past. We were trying for something better and all this happened. So thank you.
I think the best thing that we've done in the recent years is went to the mechanical arm.
Yes.
That was, now we own those trash cans.
Yes.
So that isn't an expense that we have to put out. We just have to find a used electronical hand trash truck.
That is an excellent point, Mayor, that I forgot to add. We automated collection, right? We weren't thinking of it then, but at least we had the foresight to purchase those, our green collection carts. We own them. So it's if we buy a truck, we can pick up our own carts. Most municipalities rent them because they don't want to put out the $100,000 cash outlay, right, in order to purchase that stuff. We had the money. It saved us 60 grand a year for 8, 9, 10 years now because we did that. So we own those carts. That's a huge benefit.
Definitely. I guess it's, we're up on a lot of other municipalities because we already have the carts. So we're not going trying to figure out where we're going to get the carts, because also that's something that also has to be produced. That is behind.
Delayed.
Yes.
That's delayed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions in reference to trash pickup? All right, it's yours, John.
We still have an open position for code enforcement officer. You know, we're trying our best there. 2022 budget, well underway, folks. Department heads are due to return everything to me by week's end. So I'll know better after that date. And I'll give you a report, as I'm required to, about the first week of January, about where we stand, what we're looking at as far as any significant increases, decreases, et cetera. So, but as I sit here today, you know, I don't think that we're going to be facing much in the way of challenges moving forward. Of course, after 2022, we'll be in a better position because that one warehouse Jim Winkowski was talking about will be done, right? And pays significant pilot. The only other item I have is the professional RFPs were due to be returned by all of our professional consultants, Mr. Rosenberg, Andy Brewer, and everybody else that was on tonight by Friday. Everybody did so. We received them from everybody that currently works for the borough. Plus, Rita will be able to provide you with that list, so to prepare you for appointments at reorg, which is on January 3rd. And that's all I have.
Some drives will be in your mailboxes. Come and get them, look them over, and let me know. Is there anything on the ongoing reminders that you wish to?
Nothing, Your Honor.
The only thing I would say is I would say thank you to Kwan. She's doing a lot of work trying to get that bridge from the Pensauken a light rail to the redevelopment, so it would be easier for pedestrians and bicycling. She's putting a lot of time into it, and I thank her. Any type of comments? We'll start with Michelle McCann.
No comment at this time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Farah?
No comment at this time. Good night.
Bernadette? Who else? Laura?
No comment.
Tim?
Now, express everything in executive.
Well, I believe this is our last meeting of the year.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
that's a good point, Your Honor.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I would want to thank everyone for all of their hard work, their time, their initiative. I also want to thank the PIA. The Winter Festival was 2 Saturdays ago. And that's a lot of work. Thank you for putting in the time for the town of Palmyra. But I would like to, because everything else on this list we went over, to wish everyone a happy holiday, a safe holiday, and stay well and enjoy. So we have something for executive session, correct?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. It falls under all of the exceptions. And it involves the Fair Share Housing Center settlement, and that's it.
Your
Okay.
Honor, for the record, that would invoke the negotiations as well as attorney-client privilege exceptions. There's also, John's right, there's another exception for litigation. So we probably, you're right, John.
And contract, we got all of them.
All right, may I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, please.
That resolution number was
2021-243.
Dr. Cloud,
Yes.
Mrs. Jenkins,
Yes.
Mrs. McCann,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
President Howard.
yes.
All right, folks, we'll see you when we get out.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Okay, let's do this.
Wait, I'm gonna log in on my computer, so you'll see me there twice.
Wait 1 second.
Okay.
8 o'clock.
Everyone unmute yourselves.
All right, may I have a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I want
Merry
everyone to have a
Christmas
safe and happy
and Happy
holiday.
New Year, and
Merry
Night.
Christmas all
holiday and
and
Merry
New
New Year.
Year's.
Christmas.
See
Hey,
ya.
how about a cheer for my Michigan team?
They
Go
did
Blue.
very well.
Go Blue.
No.
Now,
No.
who's your
Ted,
team?
you know, Ted, you know.
Notre
I'm wait-
Dame.
I think there's one more that has to, something's got to kerfluffle. Baylor
All right.
kerfluffled over the weekend, so we'll see.
Everybody stay safe and enjoy your
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye all.
Hi, everyone.
Bye, Laura.